はい。では、皆さん、こんにちは。Study in Texas State from Japan to Texas ということで、EducationUSA Japan が2つのテキサスにある大学と一緒に、セッションをお届けします。まず、EducationUSA とはということなんですが、我々はアメリカ国務省の教育アドバイジングネットワークというもので、日本の人々にアメリカの高等教育を推進をしています。私たちが提供するサービス、フェアとかウェビナーとか、そういった情報とかをですね、提供するサービスについては基本は無料となっております。またですね、EducationUSA Japan ということで、私たちウェブサイトがありまして、EducationUSA.jp というものなんですが、今 QR コードも出てますが、そちらにアメリカ留学に関するいろんな情報が載っております。日本語に訳して全部載ってますので、もしよろしければそちらも合わせて、見てみてください。さて、EducationUSA なんですが、アメリカの国務省が提供しておりまして、世界中で、約430のセンターがあるということです。ちなみに日本に関しましては、センターが6個、アメリカ大使館と領事館の中にありまして、あとは8名、EducationUSA アドバイザー、私を含むがおります。東京のセンターに関しましては、大使館のアドバイザーとフルブライトジャパンのアドバイザーがおります。さて、今日はアメリカ留学ということなんですが、なぜアメリカですかってよく聞かれるんですが、アメリカは留学生が集まる数が世界で一番多いです。今のところ、インドからの留学生が一番多くて、次が中国なんですが、日本も1万4000人ほど、去年ですね、アメリカの方に留学に行っています。さあ、今日はテキサスということで、テキサスの情報をちょっとまとめてみました。テキサスはですね、全体的に見て留学生の総数が約3位という州なんです。ということは、留学生がたくさん多くいろんな国の人と交流ができるということになります。また、あとはですね、テキサスから、いろんな国に送り出している、逆にアメリカから留学に出ているという数字もですね、すべての州の中で第3位ということで、日本にもですね、結構な数の、テキサスの人たちが日本に留学に来てます。もしかしたら皆さんの周りにもテキサス出身のアメリカ人がいるかもしれません。さあ、今日のアジェンダなんですが、今私オープニングをしております。もう5分なのですぐ終わりたいと思うんですが、その後、プレゼンテーション40分間、テキサステックユニバーシティとライスユニバーシティの方にしていただきます。その後15分の、質疑応答をする予定でございます。今日のスピーカーなんですが、今お花畑にいると思う、お花畑のバックグラウンドなんですが、Miss Jen Wang from Texas Tech University、テキサステックユニバーシティから、ジェン・ワングさんです。もう一方が、ライスユニバーシティから、ジェニファーさん。たまたまなんですが、お二人ともジェニファーというお名前なので、ジェンとジェニファーというふうに分けてお話をしたいと思います。それでは、プレゼンテーションを始めていただきます。The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ready? Can everyone see my screen? Okay.
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Alrighty. So, hi everyone. Thank you so much for having me here today. My name is Jennifer Wong. You can call me Jen. I am the International Admission Counselor here at Texas Tech University, and our team is dedicated to support international undergraduate students throughout their admission journey. Today, I'm excited to share why Texas is an excellent study abroad destination and what makes Texas Tech special. And then I will hand it over to my colleague, Jennifer Hunter.
Yes, I'm Jennifer Hunter, and I work in the Office of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies at Rice University. And so what I really focus on is graduate recruitment and graduate admissions for master's and PhD programs. And so please feel free to screenshot this if you would like to contact us after this. I'll also put my email in the chat. And I'm also joined today by two current graduate students. So we have Alex and Lily who are here today. Alex, would you like to briefly introduce yourself, just where you're from, what you're studying, and maybe a little bit about your journey to Rice?
Hello everyone, I'm Alex. I'm from Colombia and I am a third year PhD student in the Ecology and Evolution program at Rice. So I'm really enjoying my time at Rice because the campus is beautiful. It's a small university, so I love that. And there's great food in Houston, so yeah.
Thank you very much. And Lily, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Lily. I'm a fifth year PhD student in the chemical engineering department here at Rice. And my main research study is about carbon nanotubes. I think a lot of Japanese students are also doing a lot of carbon nanotube related studies. So if you have any questions about it, I'm also very happy to help answer some of that. And we have a lot of collaborations from my lab to other departments at Rice with Japanese advisors.
Thank you both. And I'll turn it back over to Jen.
Alrighty. So for those who may have not visited the United States before, Texas is located in the southern part of the country. It actually highlight here on this map. So Texas is a very large state. It is actually the second largest state in the nation. Can anyone guess which state is the largest? Feel free to send it to the chat box. I will give the correct answer in 5 seconds. The largest state in the United States. Texas is the second largest. So it actually is Alaska, which I don't think is included here on this map. So probably that's the answer. So now let's do a quick fun comparison. So if we put Texas, the state, next to Japan, the country, which one do you think is larger? And the fun fact is Texas is actually larger than Japan in terms of size. But anyone want to guess how much larger it is? Let me see. Yeah, because sometimes we want to compare that, so give you a better idea of how big Texas is. So actually, Texas is roughly 1.8 times the size of Japan. So sometimes we as recruiter, when we travel, we drive for 8 hours. We are actually still in Texas. Also, I think Tomaka mentioned a little bit in the beginning. So according to the Open Door reports, California, Texas, and New York, those states are the top 3 destinations for international students. However, the cost of living varies significantly among those 3 states. So as you can see on this slide, it shows the cost of living across all states. The darker the blue, the higher the cost. So on both coasts, like California, New York, the annual cost of living can exceed $17,000. In contrast, Texas is shown in the light blue right here, which means our cost of living is much more affordable compared to the coastal states. So now I'm gonna handle the stage over to my colleague Jennifer, who will share more about the state of Texas.
All right, so we have a few slides that are a little bit more interactive, and this is one of them. So I'd like you to put in the chat, you can use emojis or you can use maybe some words that come to mind, but what do you think of when you hear Texas? So I'm not from Texas. And when I was learning, I was moving here, I had never visited before, never been to the state. And so some words that came to mind for me were cowboys. I thought a lot about cowboys and, Western movies. I thought a lot about steak. Everyone here seems to love steak, and there's lots of cows here. And so there's lots of maybe some colloquialisms about Texas that maybe surprise you that are not so native to Texas as well. Yes, beautiful natural environment. That was something that really surprised me as well. How much diversity is in Houston. And so you'll see on the next slide, there's lots of different beautiful places in Texas, and they're all very different. So the top left of your screen, that's San Antonio with all of those umbrellas, with the beautiful Riverwalk there. And then we have underneath that, we have Big Bend National Park. So that is the border of Texas and Mexico right there with the Rio Grande flowing through. I believe on the top right there, that is Houston. I can see some buildings that look familiar to me. And then below that is the Texas Capitol in Austin. So lots of different places all around Texas. Certainly could take you days and days and days to get through it all. So it's a beautiful, beautiful place. Next slide, please. So a little bit more about Texas, our great state. We are the second largest, as Jen mentioned. We are larger than any European country out there, so a very, very big place. Everything is bigger in Texas, as they say. We have a population of about 30 million people across our state. A lot of those are in the regions of Houston and Dallas and San Antonio and Austin. So those are the big, big cities around. And Lubbock not far behind there. We also have a lot of industry here. So the state of Texas alone would be the 10th largest economy in the world. Lots of exporting coming out of Texas as well, with lots of industry. So Houston, oil and gas capital, lots of healthcare though as well, manufacturing, filmmaking, technology, all of those things are really, really important to our state. As Jen mentioned, also the cost of living is lower than the national average, so it's a great place to make your dollar go farther. And our grad students can talk later about the stipends that they receive as PhD students and kind of how far that can take them. Lots of famous sites as well. So you saw a few of them on the previous slide, but there's so much to see here and so much diversity. So really hope that you explore our great state. And I will turn it back over to Jen.
Alrighty, thank you. So Texas diversity. So Texas is one of the most diverse states in the United States, not just culturally, but also economically. So you will see people from all backgrounds here, which make it a very welcoming place for international students. Many people describe Texas as a melting pot of cultures. So you will find authentic foods, festivals, and communities from all over the world. So it's quite easy to feel at home. Historically, Texas gained independency from Mexico in year 1836, which is why you still see strong Mexican influence today, along with German and Spanish heritage throughout the states. So the diversity is reflected on our campuses as well. So you can see here, most of international students in Texas come from countries like India, China, Mexico, Vietnam, South Korea, and Nigeria, and many other countries. So meaning you will be joining a truly global community here. Also, Texas offers a great quality of life with warm weathers and plenty of natural spaces that support outdoor activities year-round. The state is home to the Big Bend National Park, over 100 state parks, and even a national seashore. So there's always something to explore, from mountains to rivers to beaches. So Texas is also rich in culture and entertainment. So Austin, the capital, is known as the live music capital of the world. And across the state, you will find professional sports teams in like football, basketball, and baseball. So there are also many large cultural events, such as Texas State Fair, Folks Festival, which gives students plenty of opportunities to experience the authentic Texan culture outside the classroom. So overall, Texas offers a great balance of academics, lifestyles, and fun. Okay, Texas industries. So Texas is one of the strongest economic engines in the United States. It's known as national leaders in energy. At the same time, Texas is rapidly growing in technology and innovation, and many people now call Texas the next Silicon Valley. So the state is also home to major healthcare, life sciences, and research organizations, creating strong career opportunities for students after graduation. So agriculture alone contributes over $100 billion to the economy, showing how diverse and stable Texas industries are. You will also see many global companies headquarters here. That means they choose Texas as their home, including Dell, AT&T, American Airlines, Tesla, and more. Texas is also home to 2 international airports. Some of the busiest airport in the world, and also NASA's Johnson Space Center. All of this make Texas an excellent place for internship, networking, and long-term career development.
So this is a great segue into CPT and OPT, so curricular practical training or optional practical training after you graduate. And there's all these industries here that are really eager to connect with you and kind of give you these opportunities. And so I'll talk a little bit about OPT here, but generally this is work authorization after you graduate from school. It's available to all students on a student visa, so F visa, and it's up to a year. If you are part of a STEM program, there is an extension for you. So you can get an additional time for work authorization. And you have some certain time that you can go and do some work after you graduate. It's a really good way to gain hands-on experience with companies. It builds your skill set, it builds your resume, and then you can apply what you're actually learning to real-world projects. You should stay closely in touch with your international student office. Wherever you go to school, there will be an international student office, and they'll guide you through all of these steps. And the curricular practical training is kind of like when you get an internship as a student. It's complementary to your academics, and so it will allow you to go and do those kinds of things as well. Next slide, please. And so we've gotten a lot of questions about the visa process. And from what I have seen at Rice University, our Japanese students have not seen any delays in visas. They've been able to get here, which is great. I know that there are additional steps to the process this year as well, but overall, this is what you can expect. So the school, once you're accepted to the university, will issue you an I-20 form, and then you have to pay the CVIS fee and complete all of the documentation related to the visa, complete the visa application, and be very, very attentive to your visa interview time and prepare for it well. So practice. When you show up, make sure that you are ready to go and have all of your answers to these questions that are ready. And EducationUSA can help you prepare for these interviews as well. So make sure you start early. The biggest thing right now that we have seen that are facing immigration officials is kind of delays because there is more steps. They want to make sure that they take time on every person. So as soon as you get that I-20, start the process and show all of the materials that they're asking for. One other thing that we've heard a lot of is make sure that all of your social profiles are open and ready for people to look at them. And so that's really important to do as well. All right, next slide, please. All right, so we have one more interactive game to play. We have a few slides of this interactive game. I will do, I think, the first 2, and then Jen is going to do the next 2. And so this is a game called Two Truths and a Lie. When you see the statements on each slide, you're going to have to guess which one is the lie. So let's go ahead to the next slide. And there's one false statement on this slide. If you would like to guess by putting your answer in the chat of which letter you think it is, but which one of these is false? So Texas was once a country. The Texas Capitol is taller than the U.S. Capitol in D.C. And the last statement is there are only 27 million cows and 16 million people. If you were paying attention to some of the earlier slides, you may get this one. So I'll give you a few minutes to think about it. Don't be intimidated. You can do any guess. Do our grad students thumbs up? Do you feel confident that you would know the answers to this? I said one guess here. I see a few answers here. All right, Jen, should we go to the next slide and reveal the answer?
Yes.
All right, so as I mentioned earlier, Texas has about 30 million people. So unfortunately, we do outnumber cows about 2 to 1. So I think we could take them in a fight. It would be tough, but we could do it. But yes, Texas was once a country. There's a saying, 6 flags over Texas. That's how many countries have laid claim to this land, and now we are part of the United States. And our capital is in fact taller than the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. All right, the next 2 slides I'm going to turn over to Jen.
Awesome, thank you. So now I am gonna read out all of those 3 statements, and feel free to send your answer to the chat box, which one that you think is a false. So first, Texas is the only state to have its own power grade. Okay. Statement B, Texas is known as the adventurous state. C, El Paso, Texas, which is the city in Texas, is closer to California than Dallas, Texas. So El Paso is the border city to Mexico. So if you have some knowledge about the Texas geography, that probably can help you. So I'll give you a few seconds to think about this. Let's see. Okay, I have C, answer B, C, A. Okay, pretty much covered all of the statement. Okay, already it's time to reveal. So actually, Texas is known as friendship state. So El Paso is the border city, is kind of on the west part of Lubbock. Is actually more closer to California than Dallas, Texas. And we are the only state to have its own power grade. Already, so I would like to talk about a little bit more about Study Texas. So actually currently we have over 40 institutions represented, includes accredited university and community college. We have many different public and private institutions, and our goal is to connect international students with quality education and training in the state of Texas. Alrighty, so now I'm going to highlight a little bit more about Texas Tech University and what we have to offer. So besides the academics, I'm also going to talk about our great scholarship programs. So first of all, let me start it with sharing a video. Let me see if I can share the video. Let's see. Okay, it's not this one. I will share this with you to the chat box so you will have a better idea of what Texas Tech looked like. So first of all, about our students. Actually, as of fall 2025, we currently have over 42,000 students enrolled. So we have a very large student population and large campus. Our campus itself is the 2nd largest campus in the nation. So Lubbock, that's where our main campus is located. We're in the northwest part of Texas. More than 78% of our new students come from farther than 300 miles away. So even though we have large campus and large student population, we still maintain a 20-to-1 student to teacher ratio. So that means our faculties and staffs are accessible. If you ever want to have a one-on-one meeting, they will make their time for you. And also we have students from all 50 states and over 100 countries, and 28% of them are first-generation students. And also we are ranked number 9 nationally in workforce preparation of graduates. We're also a tier 1 research institution, which is the Carnegie classification and the highest research ranking that a university can receive. So simply speaking, those major companies, they're willing to donate money for us to do research for them. And another thing is we ranked #1 as the best college for the money with 8 in the Southwest. Academics-wise, we have 10 academic colleges which host more than 150 academic programs. And also we have Texas Tech Health Science Center and Texas Tech School of Veterinary Medicine and School of Law. So basically for a large institution like us, you can definitely find a good fit in here. So at this slide, it shows all of our 10 different academic colleges. So definitely College of Engineering, one of the best engineering school in the nation and one of the most popular one that among our international students, where you can study major like computer science, computer engineering, petroleum engineering, chemical engineering, mechanical engineering, and also our College of Business house major like supply chain management, economics, and also our College of Art and Sciences, where you can do major like biology, chemistry. So you name it, we have it. Also, at this slide, I want to highlight a little bit more about our international student support services. We have a specific department called International Student Life, and their job is to make the transition more smoothly for you. So we have hotel partnership programs, which gonna offer some discount for international students who arrive earlier than the dormitory move-in date. We have airport pickup services. We have the immigration counselors who can help you with OPT, CPT, and their job is to help you maintain your visa valid. We also have Global Guides, so it's the program to connect you with the current international students, and Cultural Festival. So we really appreciate the culture that international students bring to our campus. So this slide is actually our cultural festival. So you can see we have students from all over the world celebrating the culture, and also it's something that the whole community are excited about. Also, a little bit more about Life Aspect Radar. So we have over 550 student organizations. Over 80 of them are international. We are our Japanese Student Association are one of the best. I believe they won the worldwide showcase last year. And also we have 19 residence halls. So we have on-campus housing, and also this photo show is our outdoor swimming pool. We have the longest lazy river among all the US institutions. And I would like to give you an example of our student housing. So this is one of our residence hall called Talkington Hall. So you can see it's like apartment style. So each student will have their own room with a door, so you have privacy. And then 2 of you guys gonna share the bathroom, and for all the students living there, which is four of them, gonna share the living room. Also, we have a thing called learning community, which we're gonna compare you with someone who are the same major as you. So you can also easily find the 24/7 studying rooms in all the residence halls. So that's just something I would like to share. So at this slide, I'm going to share a little bit more about our cost to attend. So you will have a better idea of how much it's going to cost for you to study here for a whole year. So this chart includes tuition fees, housings, foods, books and supplies, health, insurance, pretty much everything for a whole year. So as you can see, there are 2 types of tuition fees are listed here. One is non-resident, another one is resident. So non-resident tuition are normally for the student who are not reside in that specific state. So lots of institutions here in the nation charge international student non-resident tuition. So at Texas Tech, for 30 credit hours, which is for a whole year, the estimated non-resident tuition is $24,451. But we also have a really great scholarship program, which if you can get awarded at least $1,000, you will be qualifying to pay the resident tuition. So simply speaking, before this, instead of the scholarship, you are also saving around $13,000 on tuition fees. So let's say if you have $2,000 scholarship, instead of paying $24,451 for a whole year, you are actually paying resident tuition, and this is the amount before the scholarship amounts kick in. So you're still going to use this to minus the scholarship amounts that you have been awarded. And also the housing for a whole year are listed here. So let's have a quick look at the Great Scholarship Program. So as you can, we have, so as undergraduate student, there are two student types. First one is new first time. That means you are, after graduating from high school, you have not attended any institution. So if, or maybe you are still in your 12th grade. So this will be the scholarships for you as a new first-time students. So as you can see, there are two qualifications listed here. One is high school GPA, another one is test score. So we have an internal evaluation system that's going to convert your GPA to the US 4.0 GPA scale. So we require 4 years of high school transcript. After we receive your transcript, we're going to do the credential evaluation. And then let's say you have a 3.7 GPA after conversion. And if you take the SAT, and if you have like 1,300 SAT, let's say, if you meet both requirements, the 3.7 GPA and the 1,300 SAT, you will be guaranteed to get $3,000. And that is competitive scholarship, which means you are eligible to pay the resident tuition. So you're going to use this $11,852 to minus that $3,000 scholarship that you have been awarded. And then your whole year estimated tuition fees will become $8,852. And that is for a whole year. We have 2 big semesters every year. So for each semester, your tuition fees will be around $4,500. And if you do not want to take the SAT, we're doing test optional, which means you do not have to submit your SAT score. You will need to submit a list of supplemental documents such as your recommendation letter, your resumes, your certificates, anything that can help us review your application better, to submit them. And if you choose test optional, you will also have the chance to get this scholarship. But everything will be reviewed in a holistic review. And you can see it's listed here, the test optional scholarships. And also this scholarship is renewable. It's not just for 1 semester. So let's say if you have a $3,000 scholarship, to renew that, so $3,000 falls into $3,000 to $6,500. All you need to do is maintain a good GPA, which is 3.25, and enroll 32 hours, which is it's like a lot of students are doing that because the minimum credit hours you will need to take to enroll as an international undergraduate student is 12 credit hours each semester. So it's like 5 courses each semester. We have seen students even enroll more credit hours than 30. As long as you can maintain the GPA and the credit hours that you enroll each semester, you will be able to renew the scholarship up to 8 semesters. So pretty much all of your time here. Okay, so definitely if you want to stay connected, I will share my email address to the chat box soon, but we also have a WhatsApp number, which gonna give you, a direct contact to our department. So feel free to scan this QR code or just message this number. Our team is available Monday to Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. Central Time Zone. Alrighty, so I think, okay, one last thing, sorry about that. So I just talked about the new first-time scholarship. So if you already attended a college or a university after graduating from high school, but you haven't got your bachelor degree yet, you will need to apply as a transfer student. So our transfer student has two scholarship opportunities for them. The first one is Presidential Transfer Scholarship. The qualifications are 30 transfer hours and 3.0 GPA. If you meet both requirements, you will get $3,000 a year and you will be eligible to pay the in-state tuition. It is also renewable. It's listed here as long as you can maintain the 3.0 GPA and enroll 12 credit hours, you will be eligible to renew this scholarship up to 6 semesters. And another one is proven achievers. Those are more are mainly for the student who have more transferable hours and a little bit higher GPA requirement. If you meet both requirements, you get $4,000 a year and in-state tuition. And if you meet the renewal requirements, definitely you will be able to renew this scholarship. Alrighty, this is pretty much what I want to share today, but we have so much more to offer. So definitely stay in touch, and then I will hand the stage to to Jennifer.
Thank you so much. So yeah, you have one more opportunity to screenshot this, and I'll put my email address again in the chat for you as well. And then if we go to the next slide, I'm going to actually pick on our grad student ambassadors for a moment. So Alex and Lily, who are here, there are some things about Rice I'd love to share, which is that we are a strong research institution. We're highly ranked. We're often ranked in the top 20 in U.S. News and World Report. And there's so many great things about Rice, but I would love to hear from Alex and Lily. Why did you decide to come to Rice? And then what have you appreciated about the campus so far? And so Lily, I'll start with you this time, and then we'll go to Alex.
Okay, so I really like Rice, and I actually, when I decided to join which university to do my PhD, is actually during a turbulent time when during pandemic. So I actually did not have the opportunity to be able to fly out to different university to actually physically experience what kind of like the university vibe and what the campus look like. I would say from my experiences and all of the advertisement videos as I watch, I really love Rice campus. I came from southern part of China, so I really enjoy having like trees over the campus, and I really love to have like the scenery, and I love the sun. So when I see like a lot of trees like along the walkway around the Rice campus, it really drawn to me because I really love that. And I just love there's so many like sunlight around here too. And sunlight really like helps me to focus. And right now Texas is really cold. I am really struggling trying to focus because I really need the sunlight to help me focus and do much work. And honestly, the Rice campus is very like collaborative. When I first decided which university to join, and all of the programs and then the interaction with Rice is all super friendly and responds super fast, and it really gave me a good impression. And then I decided to come here. And it's definitely true, and I have met so many amazing people around here at Rice, and really enjoy the activities I get to do, such as the graduate ambassador here, and a lot of like activities such as we also have like culture nights, and I love it. As a graduate student, I love free foods, especially free foods from all different sort of countries all around the world. And I enjoy a lot. And also Rice had a Nobel Prize winner, which won for a full ring, which has another name called buckyball. And we had a huge ball for graduate students here at Rice, and I really also enjoy that. You got to like dance and enjoy in a safe environment here, and I just really enjoy that part.
Thank you so much. And I'll turn it over to Alex.
Wow, okay, yeah, I was gonna say all of that, but so I'm gonna think about other things. So yes, I think Rice first like have wonderful like faculty members that are collaborating between departments. I love that. I love my lab. I love my advisors. I love the people at Rice. They're really welcoming. Especially, you know, as an international student, you are afraid because English is not your first language, so you are like worried about like people are gonna understand me. Also, Rice offers really good resources for international students to improve our English. What else? Well, I'm from Colombia. I grew up in a hot city and I experienced snow in New York. I didn't like it. And fortunately, yeah, like there's no snow in Houston. Sometimes, well, last year we had a 1 day of snow, but I think that's okay compared to, you know, places like New York or Chicago where it's like 4 months. So I'm fine with that. Yeah, the campus is beautiful. There are many parks close to our campus, which is like, you know, walkable distance. I don't drive, so that's awesome. Even the zoo is really close to our campus. And yeah, and food. So there are many like South American options, and I love Asian cuisine too. So, yep.
Thank you so much. All right, we'll go to the next slide and we'll talk a little bit more about Rice. And so the schools at Rice that offer graduate degrees and undergraduate degrees are listed here. So architecture, business, continuing studies actually does not have undergraduate programs, but this would be our Master of Arts in Teaching. Engineering, humanities, music. We have a great music school, often competes with Juilliard, and natural and social sciences. So all of these schools will offer some kind of master's or PhD degree or graduate certificates. Next slide. Oh, back one, please. And so the degrees at Rice that we have for graduate programs. So I do work for the Office of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies. So what I'll be talking about today primarily is graduate. Please note that we have a fantastic undergraduate institution that serves undergraduates as well. But for this talk, we'll be talking mostly about graduate degrees. So doctoral degree, the ultimate degree that you can get, it usually takes about 4 to 6 years to complete, and you will write a thesis as part of this degree. So you are creating new knowledge that no one has ever created before. In the United States, typically PhD programs are fully funded and they offer a stipend. So what that means is that you do not pay tuition and that you're actually paid as part of the research work that you do for the university, because this is a research-based degree. And you do not need a master's degree to apply to the PhD at most institutions in the US. A research-based master's degree is usually a shorter term degree, can be earned in 2 years. At Rice, usually these are coupled with the PhD, and so you would apply to the PhD program and earn your master's as part of that program. There are standalone research masters available, so really do your due diligence if that's something you're interested in. And professional master's degrees, these are things like an MBA. And so these are not thesis degrees. You would not be doing research, and they do provide an edge in industry. So you would be going on to work and starting your career in industry typically. There's usually not funding provided. There may be scholarships sometimes, but typically these are self-funded degrees, but they are a fantastic return on investment. Next slide, please. All right, so a little bit more about PhD funding if you've not heard of how this works. But typically stipends for Rice University, they start at $36,000 a year. They can be higher depending on your program. So these are the funds that you are paid as a PhD student that will support your cost of living as you do research work for your advisor and for the university. At Rice, you can also expect 5 years of funding as part of your package, and sometimes more, but typically the standard is 5 years. We also offer fully subsidized health insurance for PhD students in good standing. So American health insurance can be expensive, it can be complicated. And so this is our way of ensuring students can focus on their research while they are here. and lots of professional development resources as well. And I'll talk a little bit about that also. Anything else I should share about stipends, Alex, Lily, things that you were surprised about or things you didn't know? And how have you found cost of living in Houston as compared to maybe other places?
I guess I can talk a little bit. I think, and yeah, so the minimum stipend here at Rice is 36,000 per year, but of course you can get a little bit higher based off like what department that you are in, such as the chemical engineering department I'm in. My stipend is actually 3,800 per year, and then we also have some chemistry students, and for them it's 3,600 per year. And I think the cost of living wise, I think is relatively comfortable, especially I think Rice has a really amazing housing program. They had like graduate housing available for all the first year graduate students. So you don't need to worry about finding a house immediately after decide to come to US. So the school already provides some housing, so you'll be able to settle in and then ease in to get to know the culture and then environment here better before you move out and then find a better place that you think is better suited for your living liking. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I know there are several like internal grants that, I mean, even though they're for research, that's really like helpful. I think, yeah, like for, all the students, and Rice have resources and like coaching, and they help you to, like apply to different like both internal and external grants. And yeah, definitely as a student doing research, like that helps you to like not be stressed about, like money and thinking, oh, how I'm gonna do my research.
All right, thank you both. All right, let's go to the next slide. All right, just a little bit more on professional development resources. So at any university you should go to, and Jen already talked about this for Texas Tech as well, but Center for Career Development, those are so important. Make sure that you're getting help to get internships while you're on your campus or to get jobs after graduation. There's plenty of resources related to academic jobs as well. So in our School of Engineering, there's a Future Faculty Fellows program, which is great if you're on the academic track and you want to figure out how to be a professor. So really look for these opportunities wherever you go. Well-being and healthcare really important to Rice, making sure that you are equipped to be okay, to have somebody to talk to while you're going through grad school if you should need it, and then also to care about your physical health. So the Recreation Center is a great place to be as well. Office of International Students and Scholars, we have a fantastic one, and they will be your partners as you go through your academic journey at Rice. We have a Center for Teaching Excellence. So if you want to, become a professor, be a teacher in the future, there are certificate programs that you can take that will train you in the latest methods of teaching and make sure that you're well prepared for a career in that. Center for Academic and Professional Communication, to make sure if you're going to present at a conference or to a poster presentation, that all of these materials, they will help you kind of develop these things as you go over time. And then lots of company connections as well. I think it's always important to ask where students are placed after graduation, whether that's undergraduate or graduate programs, and what the outcomes are. But we do have lots of Rice connections with companies with Rice connections that do hire our graduates as well. In the Ion district that's near campus, NASA Johnson Space Center, as Jen mentioned, oil and gas industry, and the Texas Med Center as well, that's here in Houston. Next slide. Just a little bit more about Houston. Texas, you've already heard, is a really big state. Houston is a really big city. We are the 4th largest city in the US and one of the most diverse. Alex mentioned food. I always talk about food. We live in a great city for eating out. We have so many diverse communities here, and that really translates to great food. So we love that about our city. Lots of great industries to get involved in here, including medical, energy, and then lots of green space. So it's very cold in Texas right now overall. It's not the norm, as everyone has said, and so we're very glad to be getting back to our normal warm weather in a week or two, and great cost of living as well. All right, next slide. So just a little bit of a timeline about, even if you're starting your undergraduate journey, it's never too early to start your research into schools or programs that you want to be in, or majors maybe that you haven't thought of that you'd like to explore. If you're going for a PhD, it's never too early to make sure that you like research. It takes 4 to 6 years to get a PhD. You want to make sure you like what you're doing before you dive into it. So do get experience. Go to a university near you or your university and ask to join a lab. Make sure for every school you're applying to, undergrad or grad, your application should be in early. So take any tests that you may need. Make sure that all of those essays are written and perfected and turned in. You may need to contact advisors as part of a research degree. And so it's always good to contact your potential advisors and ask them if they're taking students, ask them questions about their research and what it's like to work for them. Usually for grad degrees, you're going to be applying to the following year's fall. So right now, we're just closing applications for fall 2026. Applications for fall 2027 will open in around August. And it's always great to, again, start early. As soon as the app opens, look at it, see what you need to do, start working on those different pieces, get your application in early when it hits in December. It's possible you might be invited for an interview in January, and then February or March are when offers typically go out for graduate degrees. Next slide, please. One shameless plug I will say is that if you're wanting to apply for a PhD program, we do grant fee waivers. And so every fall we will have a program that will be our fee waiver weeks, and you can get information, and I'll put this link in the chat as well. But we invite you to apply to get a fee waiver and then apply to your program early, and then we will hopefully be able to grant you that fee waiver as long as you meet some basic eligibility requirements. But this will be in October later this year. I think that's my last slide, but let's see if, yep. And so we can turn it over to questions.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jen and Jennifer. Alex and Lily, thank you so much for your input as well. We have a few questions on our chat. I'm sorry, Q&A boxes. So it's about CPA, US CPA, Certificate Public Accountant. Do you happen to have any suggestions to obtain certificate public accountant in the United States? I believe the students need to take some classes at the university to gain the certificate.
So usually for that would be like a professional degree. You would want to be a professional accountant, and so you need to get an accounting degree. And so there's lots of coursework involved in that. Typically, you also need a master's degree. So you want to make sure that you look for maybe a program that is coupled with a master's degree, or you've got some research, that's what you want to go into. And then you do need to pass an exam for that as well. So it is a very in-depth process. If you're going to go on that route, I would suggest, when you're exploring programs, see if they have preparation for that as part of the academic program. Ask what resources they might have available from the university to help with that. That would be my advice, but I can turn it over to Jen.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same based on my research. Sometimes you do require a master's degree, but here at Texas Tech is once you enroll as an undergraduate student, you will be assigned an academic advisor. So that person will be helping you with degree plan. Definitely share with them about your thoughts, so they will help you with those prerequisites courses, so you do not have to take additional whenever you start your master's degree.
Thank you so much. We have more questions coming in. So, well, next one. Do you have a separate from application materials for international students to apply for scholarship when applying to Texas Tech and after entering to Texas Tech? Is it automatic application once students apply to the Texas Tech at the first time, Jen?
Yes, so there's no additional application for scholarships. Once students submit their application, they will be automatically considered for the scholarship opportunities. And also we have an honors college. So when they sometimes offer funding opportunities as well, so as the academic department, but student will need to get admitted by the university first.
Mm.
So for the general scholarship that I mentioned in my presentation, that one, no additional application needed. But if you want to have some additional funding, definitely they have their own requirements. But the good thing about our scholarship system is we do not set a limit on how much scholarship a student can receive. So those are stackable. So let's say if we have $8,000 from the university and $2,000 from the honors college, we can add them together.
Thank you, Jen. There is another question regarding undergrad. So for admission purposes, if a student graduated from in-state high school, will you consider that student as domestic applicant? Additionally, how would the tuition be classified, resident or non-resident?
So that's a really good question because there are some changes happened recently. Currently, only the green card holder and citizen can apply as a domestic applicant. But if you have graduated from a Texas high school, you will be classified as an international applicant. But for tuition purpose, there's the chance for you to get the in-state tuition automatically. So we do have a residency determination office here at Texas Tech. So there are certain forms or like the transcript you will need to provide, and then we can change your tuition type internally.
Thank you, Jen. For Jennifer, whom should I ask for a letter of recommendation to go to a grad school if I'm not able to ask my boss or someone within my company? You know, like what as a working adult, if we want to go to grad school, we have to tell the boss to write a recommendation letter. That means
They know.
Yeah, right. I'm planning to quit. So
I get that. Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah. If you have somebody at your company that you trust, it is fine to ask them for a recommendation. A colleague is a great person who knows your work well. If you can go to your undergraduate school and ask a professor that you might have been close to or took a class from them. For grad school, we would love to see at least one letter from a professor, especially if you're going for a research track. We know that that's not always possible, but it's good to try for one of those as well. So other appropriate people to write a letter could be a mentor, somebody that's some kind of workplace mentor to you, even if it's not inside your workplace, but somebody that knows you well. Really what you want is to find people that can speak to your potential in graduate school, that you can, they can talk maybe a little bit about your academic history, a little bit about your character, but a lot about your potential and what you hope to do. So that's my recommendation. I know that can be an awkward situation, so best of luck.
thank you so much. So it's time, but there is one more question. The last one is going to be, do you offer summer programs, short-term or non-degree seeking to experience U.S. university for high school students or adults or anyone? I would like to ask each school. So can you answer first, Jen?
Yes. We have a summer camp programs. But because for international student visa, is the first thing that they will need to get into the country. So I do not have a very accurate answer for you on that question, so I don't want to give the wrong answer. So definitely I just share my email address to the chat box. Let me go ahead and work with my coworker at the summer camp program, and I will provide you the most accurate information on this question.
Sounds good. Thank you. Jennifer?
Yeah, so at Rice, we do have a pre-college program, but Often I have found that students can reach out directly to professors to ask them if they're taking students for research. That's totally fine to do. It's pretty common in the US to reach out to faculty members. And so you should feel comfortable in doing that. And I think it shows a lot of initiative. There are plenty of faculty members that will do that. But you could look at the pre-college as well. Like Jen said, I don't know exactly about the international process, if they need visa, like how the visa process would work for that. But it's good to look into, and I think there's an FAQ on their website as well.
Thank you so much. Now it's time. So we would like to close the session today. But thank you everyone for listening. Thank you, Jennifer and Jen, for your participation. And it was wonderful, very informative sessions. And Alex, Lily, I know it must be really late in Texas, but thank you so much for your participation as well. So everyone, have a good day, have a good night, and then hope to see you soon.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Bye.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
Take care.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thanks, Lily. Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Jen. See you later. And thanks,
See you
Tomoko.
later.
Good night.
Thank
Good
you.
Bye-bye.
night.